Our third presenter team, we're excited to introduce Nadine and Makenzie Gilkison. Please give them a hand.
Hello everyone. My name is Makenzie, this is my mom, Nadine.
Before we begin, please use the hashtag Dyslexic Mindset to share your thoughts from this keynote. We want to dedicate this speech to Cole.
My brother, who also has dyslexia but is not keen in speaking in large audiences. Like me. Today our speech is in 3 parts.
Part 1.
My story.
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Makenzie
That's me.
who loved school.
I loved math, laughing with friends, and this Monday always made learning so fun.
But when she got to first grade, though, she began to struggle with spelling, often flipping letters without realizing it. Reading became difficult for her, and being able to write her thoughts clearly was a struggle. This once lively and energetic young girl began to question her abilities.
Mom, am I stupid or dumb? Why am I having such a hard time with all of this?
Taking weekly tests kept making her feel worse as they continued to reiterate the same thing, saying,
You need to work on reading, writing, and spelling. Like I already didn't know this.
Until one day her mom had seen enough. She requested testing to see if Makenzie could get some additional help and figure out what was going on. Her mom said the word dyslexia at the conference, but was told,
That's not an option at this time.
So Makenzie continued on to 2nd and 3rd grade, where her teachers began to notice the same issues as well. As Makenzie became more and more depressed, her mother decided to seek outside testing just to be sure something wasn't going on.
That's when two important events happened.
First, at long last, Makenzie was officially diagnosed with dyslexia.
Finally, yes.
The look on Mackenzie's face was priceless.
I understand now why I struggle.
Second, Representative Burton created a bill on dyslexia and early screening that was signed by Governor Holcomb.
Yes, parents and children cheered all over the state.
Now that Makenzie is diagnosed, what can be done to help her? Being an educator, her mom frantically gathers research and begins compiling resources. First thought, does Makenzie really know what dyslexia is? I mean, like, in kid language. While scouring the web, she finds the following video.
Oh, Mom, can you show it to them?
Sure, let's go ahead and show it.
Your brain is amazing, and nobody else has one quite like it. Although everybody's brain looks the same, they all work differently from each other. Just as we all have different colour skin, hair, and eyes, we all have a brain that's individual to us, like a fingerprint. We have different personalities, tastes, strengths, and weaknesses. Our brains can even see and understand the world in different ways. One of those ways is called dyslexia, which affects how the brain handles information it sees and hears. Dyslexic people may find it difficult to match letters to sounds and to remember how to spell words. They may even see letters moving around when they're reading. They might have trouble telling left from right. Remembering lots of instructions can be especially hard. They may need more thinking time to remember the right word.
No, wait. Look.
organizing sequences. It may be difficult for them to hold a pencil and to write by hand. Even organizing themselves can be difficult. But everyone with dyslexia is different. It can affect how people feel about themselves. When they struggle with a task that other people find easy, they may feel frustrated, angry, or sad. Some dyslexic people try to hide their difficulties because they are worried about what others will think of them. However, thinking differently can be a really good thing. A person with dyslexia may be very good at seeing patterns and solving problems, imagining and rotating objects in their heads, telling stories and making people laugh, taking things apart, understanding how they work, and figuring out how to put them together again. Inventing, drawing, painting, and making things. Seeing the bigger picture. Dyslexic people can do a lot of things. They just might do them in a different way to how others would, and many of them have even become famous for it. There have been many famous dyslexic inventors, writers, scientists, business people, astronomers, paleontologists, actors, cooks, singers, artists, architects, and so on. Dyslexic people have changed the world. See dyslexia differently.
And I can tell you that she is asked to watch this video so many times I cannot even count. Really, both of my kids have watched it probably 80 or 90 times. So Makenzie, can you tell me why you like watching this video so much?
It shows dyslexia can be a good thing and that your brain is amazing.
So what kind of training do I need to get to be able to help? So I attended multi-sensory training to help tutor Makenzies in the evening after school. But if you've ever been to those kinds of trainings, there's lots of cards. I mean, like giant stacks of cards to be able to help out these kids. So I started to think of ways with technology integration being my background, different ways that I could use that to help out. First, I thought about maybe projecting the cards on a big screen if you're going to do something whole class. Digitizing the cards. After I attended a training on Orton Gillingham with the Rooney Foundation, I took those cards, I digitized them, and I even included emojis to indicate the beginning sounds. And it really helped her, because she could then even do it on a Chromebook. From that, more of our teachers have even gotten training to help out, and one of the teachers in my district even began to think about how we could extend this to the small group table. You know, when the kids are at the small group table, they're getting that one-on-one support, but then she and I talked about, well, what if when the kid is on their own? So she basically re-recorded herself doing the same lesson that she would do at the small group table so that a kid could do it independently, the skywriting, everything that they suggest that you do. I also learned that while one-on-one support is amazing, once a kid is back in the daily routine of school subjects, it becomes increasingly hard to keep up with peers without support, especially in the upper grades. Access to text and audio is vital for these students. Dyslexics will spend too much time decoding words, especially as more multi-syllable are present in the text, when they really need to be spending that time comprehending.
As my story continues to unfold, we now want to talk about some other topics. Part 2, did you know in life hacks?
Did you know that dyslexia is not correlated to a person's IQ or intelligence level?
Dyslexia comes in many forms, not all flip letters or have the same symptoms.
There's no one-size-fits-all for assistive technology. Some people will tell you that a certain font is what every dyslexic needs, computer-generated voices or read-alouds. But the key is that everyone is unique in their needs, but you need to give them access to multiple of those assistive technologies and let the student tell you what works best for them.
Let's shift to a backpack of life hacks that can help you out. Jot down your thoughts that bother you, then shred them up with this mini paper shredder. I know I love it.
Change the playback speed on videos. Dyslexics have the ability to listen to things read faster and comprehend what's being said.
Focus on your passion. Do what you love to do.
Read what makes you happy.
Part 3, next steps.
As I began this process of how to help my own kids, the inequity was staring me back in the face. What if? What if I didn't have an education background, the means to get the training myself? What if my child wasn't diagnosed until middle or high school? What if the child moves into your school system after the K-2 screening of dyslexia? The graduation dropout rates are sky high for those who do not get the help that they need, which in turn leads to higher incarceration rates and even suicide rates. How might we provide social-emotional support for upper grade students with dyslexia that's equitable and accessible for all? Because of this, I channeled my passion into a Google Innovator project called #DyslexiCMindset. Over the next year, I'm on a mission to increase awareness for upper grade students with dyslexia and show them multiple ways to strive and thrive with dyslexia.
Please help my mom spread the word. Follow, share, #DyslexiCMindset.
Thank you.
Bye.